experience. You will thus learn much about how to work and will reach many souls. So notice what she's saying. Have church on Sunday. I can imagine this, a Sunday law coming and an Adventist church open saying, come in for church worship on Sunday, learn about the mark of the beast and the seal of God. Learn about the commandments. That's what she's suggesting right here. So we're to use these opportunities that we'll approach, and it's going to be a time of persecution, but we have to be smart and use these opportunities as best we can to win as many souls as possible. Because the Spirit of prophecy says only in eternity can we see the value of a soul that's missing. And when you think about that in the context of this, we need to be doing whatever we can, because can you imagine the heartache of someone who knows someone that is not in heaven and they're in heaven? And they think back of, boy, that thing that maybe they could have done that might have changed things. There's a lot of heartache. I think there's going to be a lot of tears in heaven over people that maybe could have been saved had someone done something, or maybe they were a bad influence at that time of their life, or whatever it may be. And this is our opportunity to really work for the Lord. Oh, there we go. Manuscripts Release, Volume 2, page 299. The time will come when men will not only forbid Sunday work, but they will try to force men to labor on Sabbath. And men will be asked to renounce the Sabbath and subscribe to Sunday observance or forfeit their freedom and their lives. So this is another aspect of the Sunday law that's going to take place. It's not going to be enough to not work on Sunday, but they're going to try to make you work on Sabbath and renounce the Sabbath. And again, that stick is going to be no buy, no sell, and death penalty. This is Patriarchs and our Prophets and Kings, page 184. This is the Spirit of prophecy quoting Satan. Okay, through non-observance of the Sabbath that God instituted, I will bring His law into contempt. The words, a sign between me and you throughout your generations, I will make to serve on the side of my Sabbath. Thus the world will become mine. I will be the ruler of the earth, the prince of this world. I will so control the minds under my power that God's Sabbath shall be a special object of contempt. A sign, I will make the observance of the seventh day a sign of disloyalty to the authorities of the earth. Human laws will be made so stringent that men and women will not dare to observe the seventh-day Sabbath. For fear of want of food and clothing, they will join with the world in transgressing God's law. The earth will be wholly under my dominion. This is how he plans to do it. He is going to make it so hard. Again, that carrot and stick. Here's the dangling of spiritualism, and the stick is that persecution that he's going to be utilizing. And he says, look, for fear of wanting food and clothing, they're going to bail. Can you imagine the heartache? Someone walking away from the truth for food and clothing in a temporal moment and missing out on eternity. This is a very real issue that we need to be preparing ourselves for. Now, we're going to do a Sunday checklist. So for those people that are kind of mentally watching through it, I decided to put this in here because I thought it was really pertinent, because a lot of times people come up with different ideas, and we should pay attention to what's going on in the world in relation to Sunday and all those things. There's a difference, though, between paying attention to it and saying, oh, this is it, right? We need to see what is happening in the world. So the Sunday checklist, it needs to happen in the United States first. Majority of the people want it. Protestants control the government. World deceived by spiritualism. Religious in nature. This is a religious conflict between God and Satan. You're in the middle of it, and you've got to decide. Destruction around the world with an emphasis on cities. And God's people are blamed for the disasters. For the Sunday law to happen, you need to fill in every one of those. That is all going to happen in conjunction with the Sunday law. And we've seen it. We went through all the quotes. This is where we can go from this. This can help us get an idea of what's at stake, what can happen. Now, just because some of those things are not happening yet doesn't mean it's not quick. I'm going to pick on one just for a moment. I'll pick on Protestant. Protestants control the government. There's the religious right, there's the religious left, and they bicker and fight, but Protestants don't control the wheels of government. They have some power, but they don't control it like this. But imagine, if you will, hypothetically, tomorrow, or maybe tonight, a couple cities get destroyed by fire and brimstone, like we learned about on the first night. And it starts to happen a little more frequently as days go by, and dead people start popping up all over the place, glorified like angels, and working miracles and helping, or appearing to help. And how packed do you think the Protestant churches would become? How much power would they all of a sudden have instantaneously? Everybody would be lining up. This could happen literally in a very, very quick period of time. So this message is not something to say, it's a long way off because you got to fill all these boxes. All these boxes can be done like that, instantaneously. But these are the things that must happen, and we will see these things happen before our very eyes in what I think is not too distant future. So we're looking at this chart. Again, we're dealing with present day, working our way through. And the next part we have was the Sunday law. And that's right there. So some point in the future, after the spiritualism, after the destruction, now of course those things continue on, not to say they end at any specific moment, the Sunday law will happen. And that will be something that is going to be very important because, of course, you get the mark of the seal of God based on whether or not your allegiance is to God or man. With that is the end of this presentation, and we'll give it 15 minutes. We'll meet back in here at 2:30 to have a break, and then we'll continue the next step in walking through this process and seeing everything else. But before we go on our break, let's just pause for a moment of prayer. Our loving Heavenly Father, thank you so much for your wonderful blessings. Thank you for all of your love, all of your guidance in our lives, Lord. Thank you for your message of truth. Help us to learn and grow from you, Lord.